Hello and welcome to another Divi Booster tutorial. In this video, we'll look at how to change the spacing between menu items in Divi's standard header. Divi's header menu is where your main site navigation links live, and given their prominent position, it's essential that they look great and are easy to read. Adjusting the spacing between these menu items is a simple way to refine the design and enhance readability. Now, while Divi doesn't include a built-in option to adjust menu item spacing, you can achieve this using two methods. The first is by leveraging the Divi Booster plugin, which provides a straightforward setting for this purpose. The second method involves custom CSS that you can add in Divi's custom CSS area. If you're using the vertical menu format, however, a slightly different CSS approach will be required. In this tutorial, we're focusing specifically on changing the spacing for Divi's standard header menu. If you're looking to adjust spacing in the Divi menu module, like in a custom header or footer, that's a separate topic covered elsewhere. Feel free to follow along as we explore how to achieve a clean and polished look for your Divi menu. Before we dive into making adjustments, let's take a moment to see how the standard Divi header menu typically appears by default. As you can notice, the menu items are placed quite closely together, which may not always be the best fit for your design preferences or overall site layout. This compact spacing often leaves limited white space between the items, making the menu look a bit cramped. We'll work on changing that to create a cleaner, more polished look. Stay tuned. Now, let's take a look at an example where the spacing between the menu items has been increased. Notice how the additional white space creates a completely different feel for the menu. This simple adjustment can significantly improve the overall design, giving it a cleaner and more open look. By customizing the spacing, you can align the menu's style with your site's design, ensuring it fits perfectly with the aesthetic you're aiming for. Let's now take a look at how to change the spacing between menu items in Divi using the Divi Booster plugin. Divi Booster is a powerful tool that adds a variety of features to Divi, including the ability to adjust the space between menu items quickly and easily, no coding required. To find this setting, go to your WordPress dashboard, then navigate to Divi Booster. Once you're in the Divi Booster settings, look for the header section. Within that, you'll find Main Header, and under it, the option labeled Space Between Menu Items. Here, you'll be able to customize the spacing between each item in your main header menu to better suit your design. We'll walk through the steps to adjust this setting in just a moment, so stay tuned. To get started with adjusting menu spacing using the Divi Booster plugin, you'll first need to have the plugin itself. Divi Booster is a popular tool that adds hundreds of new features to Divi, including the setting we'll be using in this tutorial. If you haven't already, you can grab your copy of Divi Booster. Once purchased, you'll receive the plugin file, named divi-booster.zip. Make sure to download this file to your computer so it's ready for installation. For those who've already purchased Divi Booster, you can access and download the plugin file directly from your Divi Booster account. Once the file is saved on your device, you're all set for the installation process, which we'll cover in the next steps. To install the Divi Booster plugin, start by heading to your WordPress dashboard. From there, navigate to the Plugins section in the left-hand menu and click on Add New. Next, select the Upload Plugin option at the top of the page. When prompted, click on Choose File and locate the divi-booster.zip file you downloaded earlier. Once selected, click on the Install Now button to upload and begin the installation process. When the installation is complete, you'll see an option to activate the plugin. Simply click on the Activate button, and the Divi Booster features will be added to your Divi setup. That's all it takes to get Divi Booster up and running. Let's continue to explore how you can use it to adjust your menu item spacing. To access the Divi Booster settings page, start by heading to your WordPress dashboard. Look for the Divi option in the left-hand menu and click on it. Once you're there, you'll see an option labeled Divi Booster. Select it to open the Divi Booster settings page. This page contains a variety of global settings that can be applied across your Divi theme, making it a central hub for customizing your site. Let's move on to begin making the adjustments you need. Once you're on the Divi Booster settings page, navigate to the header section and expand it. Then, open the main header subsection. Here, you'll find an option labeled Space Between Menu Items. This is where you can customize the spacing for your menu items. To get started, check the box next to this setting to enable it. Then, input the spacing value you want in pixels. For example, if you want more space between your menu items, simply enter a larger number. The default spacing for Divi menus is 22 pixels, so increasing this number will create more space, and a smaller number will reduce the spacing. This straightforward adjustment lets you fine-tune your menu spacing to match your site's design and layout perfectly. After entering your desired value, don't forget to save your settings, which we'll cover shortly. Once you've made the desired adjustments to the menu spacing in the Divi Booster settings, it's time to save your changes. To do this, simply click the Save Changes button located at the top of the settings page. By saving, your updated spacing preferences will be applied to your site instantly. Now, your main menu will reflect the spacing adjustments you've set, creating a more polished and tailored design. Now that you've made the adjustments and saved your settings, it's time to see the results. Head over to the front end of your site and take a look at your menu. You should notice that the spacing between your menu items has been updated based on the value you entered. Whether you increased or decreased the spacing, this change can make a big impact on your menu's appearance, giving it a more refined and visually appealing design. Take a moment to ensure the spacing matches the overall look and feel you're aiming for. If you need to tweak it further, simply go back and adjust the settings. If you're comfortable working with code, you can manually adjust the spacing between menu items in the Divi theme's main navigation menu using custom CSS. This method gives you control over the precise spacing by editing the padding and margin of the menu items directly. To do this, you'll add a CSS code snippet into the Divi theme options, specifically in the custom CSS box. Don't worry, it's a simple process, and I'll walk you through the steps in just a moment. Let's dive in and see how you can use CSS code to fine-tune your menu item spacing. To access Divi's theme options, start by navigating to your WordPress dashboard. Look for the Divi option in the sidebar menu on the left. Once you find it, click on it, and then select the Theme Options submenu item. The Theme Options page is where you'll find a variety of settings to configure your Divi theme, including the option to add custom CSS code. This centralized location makes it easy to manage and customize key aspects of your site. Let's move on to the next steps. Next, let's navigate to the custom CSS setting within Divi's theme options. Start by clicking on the General tab. This will take you to Divi's main settings. Once you're in the General tab, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. Here, you'll find a box labeled Custom CSS. This is where you can add your own custom CSS code to further tailor your site's design, alongside any CSS code already provided by Divi. This setting is key for adding those extra personalized touches to make your site unique. Let's move forward with adding some custom CSS. Now let's add the custom CSS code to adjust the spacing between Divi menu items. Using CSS, we can increase or decrease the spacing to perfectly suit your design. Here's a quick overview of the code we'll be adding. The first line targets the menu items and adjusts the right padding for all items except the last one. This essentially controls the space between each menu link. The second part of the code adjusts the margin to the left of the search icon, ensuring the spacing looks consistent and balanced. In this example, the spacing is set to 50 pixels, which provides more space between items and a cleaner look. Keep in mind that Divi's default spacing is 22 pixels, so increasing this value will create more space and decreasing it will reduce the spacing. Once you've entered this code into the custom CSS box, your menu will instantly reflect the changes. It's a simple yet effective way to personalize your navigation design and improve the overall user experience. Once you've added your custom CSS, the next step is to save your changes. To do this, simply click the Save Changes button. You'll find it at both the top and bottom of the Divi theme options page. This ensures that the modifications you made are applied to your site. Once saved, your customizations will take effect, and your menu will display the updated spacing you've configured. With your custom CSS changes saved, the next step is to view your site on the front end to see the results. Take a look at your navigation menu. and you should notice that the spacing between the menu items has been updated. Depending on the values you set for the spacing, the gaps between the items should either have increased or decreased. This small but impactful change can make your menu look more polished and aligned with your site's overall design. If you're not satisfied with how it looks, you can always go back to the settings and adjust the spacing further until it perfectly suits your layout. Divi provides the option to switch your header or navigation menu from the default horizontal format to a vertical menu layout. If you prefer or are already using this vertical style, you can customize the spacing between the menu items to better fit your design. This adjustment is made by adding custom CSS to the custom CSS box within the Divi theme options. In the upcoming steps, we'll walk through how to enable the vertical menu format and modify the vertical spacing to achieve the look you want. Let's get started. To enable Divi's vertical navigation header format, start by opening the Theme Customizer in your WordPress dashboard. Once there, navigate to the menu path, Header and Navigation, then Header Format. In this section, you'll see an option labeled O1, Enable Vertical Navigation. Simply check this box, and Divi will automatically switch your standard horizontal header into a vertical menu layout. This feature is perfect if your site design calls for a vertical menu, offering a unique and structured look for your navigation. Let's continue to adjust it further for your needs. To access Divi's theme options, start by going to your WordPress dashboard. Look for the Divi option in the sidebar menu on the left-hand side. Once you find it, click on it, and then select the Theme Options submenu item. This will open up the Theme Options page, where you can find a range of settings to configure your Divi theme, including the ability to add custom CSS code for further customization. Let's continue to see how we can make use of this feature. Now let's navigate to the Custom CSS setting within Divi's theme options. First, click on the General tab. This will bring you to Divi's main settings area where you can configure various aspects of your theme. Next, scroll down to the very bottom of the page. There, you'll find a section labeled Custom CSS. This is where you can add your own CSS code alongside any CSS that Divi might already include. This field allows you to directly input and save custom styles that will enhance and align your site's design with your vision. Let's move on now and see how adding our CSS here can help adjust menu item spacing. To adjust the vertical spacing between menu items in Divi's vertical menu layout, we can use a simple CSS snippet. This code targets the menu item specifically and increases or decreases the spacing based on the padding value we set. Here's how it works. The CSS adjusts the bottom padding for the menu items, which directly impacts the vertical spacing. Let me describe the snippet for you. It uses a media query to ensure these changes only apply to screens that are 981 pixels wide or larger. Then, for each menu item, this snippet sets a padding bottom value. In this case, the default vertical spacing is 19 pixels, but the code example increases it to 29 pixels for a more open and balanced look. You can customize this value to either increase or decrease the spacing, depending on your design preferences. Once you've added this snippet to the custom CSS box in Divi's theme options, be sure to save your changes. When applied, your site's vertical menu will visually reflect the updated spacing. This is a quick and effective way to tailor your navigation to suit your overall layout. Once you've added your custom CSS and made your adjustments, don't forget to save your changes. To do this, simply click the Save Changes button, which you'll find at the top or bottom of the Divi theme options page. This step is crucial to ensure that all the modifications you made are applied to your site. Once saved, your new settings will take effect, and you can enjoy the updated look of your menu. Now that you've saved your changes, it's time to preview the results. Head over to the front end of your site and take a look at your vertical menu. You should notice that the vertical spacing between the menu items has been updated according to the value you set in the custom CSS. Whether you increased or decreased the spacing, this adjustment can have a big impact on the overall appearance of your menu. It helps create a clean and well-structured look that complements your site's design. If you feel the spacing isn't quite right, You can always go back and tweak the CSS until it's perfect. To wrap things up, we've covered two effective methods for adjusting the spacing between menu items in Divi's standard header. The first method involves using the Divi Booster plugin, which provides an easy, code-free way to make these changes. The second method utilizes custom CSS, allowing for more manual control over the spacing adjustments. We also explored how to customize the spacing specifically for Divi's vertical menu layout using additional CSS tweaks. I hope this guide has been helpful in enhancing your site's navigation to better match your design needs. If you have any questions or need further assistance, feel free to share them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and happy designing!